So a long time ago, I found this YouTuber. They do Super Mario 64 videos. A lot of it is a bunch of challenges on what to do and how to beat the game in different circumstances, like as few A presses as possible, or how to collect certain coins, blah, 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 blah. So if we go up here, the most recent video was about 5 months ago. I accidentally refreshed there. But the most recent video was 5 months ago. And before that was 4 years ago, which is a long time ago. Makes me wonder what happened. If I go ahead and click on this video and pause it and go to the comments, scrolling down a little bit, I found something really interesting. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit more. This comment by Ghost Coffee. It makes me extremely sad to hear his voice sounding positive and encouraging when in reality, he's going through the worst mood of his life. This got me thinking, what happened? This guy who's been commentating an entire video for 25 minutes sounds so happy and cheerful. Why? How could this be the worst mood of his life? Damn, never mind. Jesus, he sounds so normal in this. Tell me what happened. He had serious depression while making this. In the article, he mentioned something along the lines of, sometimes I would cry in my bathtub naked for a long time because of how pathetic I am. Just read this FAQ. It'll explain everything. And then it leads to a document made by this YouTuber, who I still can't pronounce right. Which is very, it's a very long, frequently asked questions. I mean, look at this. This is a lot. Okay. So now I'll be going over all of the article. I'll read it to you so that way you have something to listen to in case you didn't want to read out the whole thing. Now, there's going to be background noises because I'm currently recording this in the middle of my house. So I'll go ahead and try to pause whenever I can, whenever those noises occur. So at the beginning, we have, what is this channel? Uncommentated Pannen, or I think that's how you pronounce it, formerly pannenkoek, whatever, 2012 is the secondary channel for my main channel. So no, it is not a fake or a copycat. Both accounts are maintained by by the same person. Also note that Uncommentated Pannen's profile picture is the inverse image of pannenkoek 2012's. Whenever I refer to the main channel's username, I'm going to refer to it as 2012's. Simply to not be like, oh, I don't know how to pronounce this name. And I'm going to just say uncommentated for the secondary channel. If you didn't know, 2012 is the main channel that we were just at, who hasn't uploaded in 5 months. And before that, 4 years, which is a lot of time. Uncommentated actually has had a video recently who does frequent uploads. The last video from them was about a month ago. So it just explains that in the first question. And 2, why do you have a secondary channel? What is its purpose? And how does it differ from your main channel? I maintain 2 distinct channels because they serve 2 distinct purposes. My main channel is for polished videos that take quite a bit of time and effort to make. Over time, my tasking skills and video editing skills have drastically improved. Consequently, the quality of my videos on my main channel has also risen, which means my viewers' expectations have risen as well. As such, I must now maintain very high standards for my new main channel videos as to meet my viewers' expectations. For example, I now require that all my main channel's videos that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's a lot of different rules. I've read this before. I wanted to read everything else I haven't read in detail yet, but if you want to go and pause the video, you can read all these. It's just a bunch of rules he has set for himself for making videos, so which is why he hasn't made a video in over 5 months, and before that, 4 years. Now, while requiring these standards makes for an enjoyable viewer experience, it simultaneously creates a higher barrier to entry for new videos, which prevents many of my creative ideas and findings from becoming videos. For example, and then there's a lot of examples. You can go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to view those, because that's a lot. So as you could see, the standards actually have an adverse effect in that they inhibit my ability to be creative and produce videos quickly. I had to pause for a second, but I'm going to resume at the top of the paragraph. So as you could see, the standards actually have an adverse effect in that they inhibit my ability to be creative and produce videos quickly. If only there was some solution. Oh wait, what if I had a secondary channel that could host all of these smaller videos? Well, that's precisely what my secondary channel is for. The ever-increasing standards that govern my main channel are strictly forbidden on my secondary channel so as to not inhibit my creativity or my ability to churn out videos quickly. While voice commentary on my main channel has become required, it is strictly forbidden on my secondary channel. Secondary channel videos can be recorded in whatever resolution I please. I forsake the responsibility of having to re-explain every glitch, trick, and acronym used in each video. I'm not going to re-explain that whole HOLP, what the HOLP is in every video that uses that term. There is no threshold for how interesting a video needs to be. There is no requirement that what's shown needs to have any practical application. And videos on my secondary channel aren't required to fit nicely into predefined categories. There's no notion of precedence, and so what I do in one video doesn't have to be redone in future videos. So really, my secondary channel serves as a hub for my current SM64 research and findings, giving me a place to post quick and unpolished videos free from the blah 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 of my main channel. I don't know a lot of words. I'm really stupid. Basically what he's going through in this paragraph is just saying it's just easier to upload on his second channel. He set a lot of requirements for his first channel because it's super popular now, and he feels the need, or just doesn't want to upload on it because it's a lot of work. And he's got a lot of ideas in his mind, so uploading them on a secondary channel where all these requirements just don't exist is a lot easier, which is, understandable. Question number 3, what can I expect to see on your secondary channel? While I upload essentially anything to my secondary channel, most of the videos comprise of small discoveries, proofs of concept, failed strats, blueprints of incomplete strats, new strats, time-safe strats, potential ideas, weird observations, standalone visuals, tutorials, comparisons, explanations, clarifications of common misconceptions, and anything else that I think is worth sharing. Number 4, why should I watch your secondary channel? Well, that's the thing. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. On my main channel, I try very hard to make for an enjoyable and enlightening viewer experience by adhering to what viewers watch. But on my secondary channel, you get what you get. I don't go out of my way to conform to the viewer feedback on video quality. So if you like what you see, that's great. If you don't, it's perfectly understandable, and I won't hold it against you. Many people only like a polished final product, which is exactly what my main channel is for. So if lack of commentary and thorough explanations is a deal breaker for you, then simply stick to my main channel. Thus, don't come to my secondary channel with the expectation that it'll be anything like my main channel. And certainly don't come to the secondary channel and make suggestions of how I can improve the videos to make them more like my main channel videos. So there's a lot of text. If you look to the right and near the top where this little button is right here, we're not even a quarter of the way down, and we're at question 5. Rating this would probably take me a few hours, so I want to get into the really important part. or what this video is about entirely. I've already read a lot, which has already been about longer than about 8 minutes now because I I had to split the video in two. This is going to be the longer part. Question 6. I don't know how long I'll have to find. I don't know how long I'll have to go down until I can find what I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and look for that. Whoops. So I haven't found it yet, but I do want to remind you that you really should go through all of these frequently asked questions, because there's a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I've been reading a little bit of this to give myself time to find what I'm exactly looking for, but a lot of this is really interesting. For example, his main channel is somewhat monetized. He wanted to keep things as a fun hobby, but he has monetization on his main channel. So as he's making more requirements for his main channel, it's turning into from being a hobby into being a job. And he doesn't really want this. So that's why he has a secondary channel. He could monetize his secondary channel, but he chose not to, because then it'd make it turn into, again, a job and not a hobby. Sorry for that notification if you saw that. I'm going to go ahead and pause again, but I just want to remind you that you should really check out this. Like I showed you the comment required to get down here. So, yeah. I'm going to go look for what I was looking for. So I think I finally found it. At question number 18. What's your story surrounding the Rolling Rocks video? Why did you work so hard on it? Why did you stop uploading after it? And how do you feel about the resulting memes? The story surrounding the Rolling Rocks video is a rather dark and ugly one, so I haven't been eager to share it. Instead, I've allowed it to go largely unknown exactly how the Rolling Rocks video affected my mental/emotional state, since I didn't want to burden viewers with the knowledge that their enjoyment came at my own mental cost. But since this is such a common question, I'll elaborate on it anyway, and recount the events that occurred leading up to, during, and following the Rolling Rocks video. I'm not writing this because I want sympathy or support or advice going forward, but just so that viewers can have a better understanding of what happened and why things have gone the way they have. However, to truly understand this story, we'll have to we'll have to discuss parallel universes, duh. Sorry for that. Anyways, this paragraph here, you can go ahead and read that if you want to pause the video. It's just some background information. Now let's skip to late 2015. Some new ABC strats have been found, which meant that there were 7 improvement videos to be made. A lot of videos. He was in the middle of his 7th semester of college, and so I didn't have much time for SM64. However, I managed to squeeze in enough time for TAS, the Rolling Rock strat, and then began working on the visuals for it. At this time, it was planned to be a regular ABC video with no voice commentary, just like all ABC videos before it. However, then something unexpected and unfortunate happened. My computer crashed. Luckily, I managed to salvage all my data, but this still meant that my SM64 work had to be postponed to be unknown future date. This really ate away at me since I was so invested in the Rolling Rocks video, and I didn't know when I'd be able to work on it again. Voice crack. At the same time, I had been falling behind on my schoolwork, and so I needed to focus my mind on school. Additionally, I was having thumb issues, so I had to wear thumb splints most of the time, which made every part of my life more difficult and annoying. So basically, my life really sucked at this point. To handle the situation, I created a mindset whose priorities were to finish off the rest of the semester, get a new laptop, and then finish the SM64 videos over winter break. For simplicity, we'll call this mindset the Rolling Rocks mindset. since one of its primary goals was to finish off the Rolling Rocks video, which was eating away at me in its unfinished state. So for the next couple months, I pushed through all of the misery. The only thing that got me through this time was the desire to finally resume those ABC videos and finish them off for good. Also, since I was unable to post any new videos during this period, I figured that I'd give the viewer a special treat and commentate the 7 upcoming ABC videos. If viewers liked it, then I would commentate all future challenge videos as well. But by the time winter break arrived, this period had taken such a toll on me that I was barely keeping it together. This was, I don't know that word. I don't know how to pronounce that. Accelerated, I'll just say that. Accelerated by the fact that I ended up having to schedule a job interview for over winter break, which cut into my relaxation time. In fact, I was so high-strung at this point that I ended up having a nervous breakdown and crying for hours on December 21st, one day before the interview. Ah, man. It really shows you how effective the education system is. People having fucking breakdowns. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, the interview passed, and I could finally resume SM64 with undivided focus. First, I tasked the rest of the ABC strats and recorded the raw footage of them all. The next step was to make a commentated video for each one, in which I'd explain what was going on and how the glitches worked. The first one I tackled was TTC Thwomp 6x, which was relatively simple since it didn't require any auxiliary word I don't know, because I'm stupid, screens. Once this was done, I had precisely 11 days left in my winter break. I had finished one of the 7 ABC videos so far, and I had wanted to finish the remaining 6 videos within these 11 days. Hopefully, I could even finish before then and spend the last day just relaxing, basking in the knowledge that all the ABC videos were finally all up to date after the months of waiting. But as we'll see, things took a very different turn. The second video that I decided to tackle was the Rolling Rocks video. However, as I started writing the script and making the visuals, I realized that this video was much more complex than the previous one. With every step of the process, the amount of work that I needed to do just grew and grew. My Rolling Rocks mindset had been rooting in the fact that I would finally be able to finish the Rolling Rocks video over winter break, since it had been eating away at me for months in its unfinished state. Thus, I was prepared to do whatever it took to finish this video and restore my peace of mind. I was still very high-strung at this point, and the notion that I may not finish these videos added even more stress. At one point, I ended up getting into a nasty argument with my parents over a rather trivial matter. Given my weak mental state at this point, this argument ended up pushing me over the edge, putting me into one of the worst moods of my life. In this mood, I refused to talk to my parents or siblings. I refused to talk to or hang out with my friends. I refused to put on new clothes every day. I barely left the house. I just stayed in my room in isolation all day. I hated everything and everyone. I couldn't imagine ever being happy again. Nothing in life seemed worth it. Everything was pointless. But in addition to feeling bad about myself, I also felt the need to punish myself for letting myself get into this situation at all. In other words, a masochist rage ended up taking over my mind. I wanted to hurt myself physically, but that's against my personal rules. So instead, I settled for psychological harm. So I went on to my Facebook account and unfriended about 80% of my friends because I didn't feel that I deserved to be friends with them. Later, I took a bath, but when it was over, I ended up staying in the tub cold and naked for hours, since that's what I deserved. During this time, I also ended up going on a mental monologue detailing how worthless I was by going over all of my past failures and shortcomings, and for each one going over my personal traits and caused these and for each one going over my personal traits that caused those failures. Needless to say, This was a very dark period of my life. This is the type of situation where, under normal circumstances, I would channel some mental resources into making myself feel better, such as reassuring myself that I would get through this and that everything would be okay. But did I do this under the Rolling Rocks mindset? Nope. Remember, the Rolling Rocks mindset had been created specifically to get the ABC videos done, especially the Rolling Rocks video that had been eating away at me for months. So instead of channeling any resources into making myself feel better and combat the masochist rage, the Rolling Rocks mindset ended taking out. So I had to pause for a second there. My sister burst into the room with literally nothing useful to say. Let's see where I was. Jeez. The Rolling Rocks mindset managed. Nope, that's not where I. Okay, let me pause and see where I was. So instead of channeling any resources into making myself feel better and combat the masochist rage, the Rolling Rocks mindset ended up taking a more exploitive approach. The Rolling Rocks mindset managed to convince my masochist rage that the perfect punishment for me would be to force me to work on the Rolling Rocks video. The logic was that I didn't deserve to relax and enjoy my winter break. Instead, I deserved to slave away all day on the Rolling Rocks video, even though I hate commentating. While all my friends and family would be having fun over winter break, I deserved to be locked up in my room just working all day. And that was how the Rolling Rock mindset, whose goal was getting ABC videos done, and my masochistic rage, whose goal was punishing me, ended up working together. To give an analogy, imagine an employee who worked from the moment they woke up to the moment they went to sleep, without requesting any breaks or even requiring a salary, all because they felt that they deserved to be treated horribly. That was how I operated during this time, essentially a super soldier of being productive. The contrast, under normal circumstances, I would give myself breaks and reward myself for reaching certain milestones of progress. However, because I was being punished, these niceties weren't provided, which maximized my productivity. In fact, the Rolling Rocks mindset even went so far as to artificially extend my bad mood past the point where it would have normally subsided. In other words, the Rolling Rocks mindset was so bent on finishing the Rolling Rocks video that it manipulated me into staying in one of the most worst moods of my life, simply because that was the course of action that was calculated to have the highest probability of finishing the video before winter break ended. And so, for 11 days straight, I ended up churning away at the Rolling Rocks video in my awful mood. At one point, I realized that there was no way I could finish all 6 of the remaining ABC videos. And so, I adjusted my goal to just get the Rolling Rocks video done. Note that for the voice commentary, I had to put on a fake happy voice for it to sound right. But make no mistake, the voice commentary you hear during the Rolling Rocks video was recorded while I was in a horrible mood, just putting on a happy act. So, to give a high-level description of the situation, I had been tasked with finishing off 7 ABC videos over winter break. While I finished the first video in a reasonable manner, I ended up using the remaining time/mental budget all on a single video. Even though that budget was intended for 6 other videos. That's why the Rolling Rocks video stands out among the rest. It ended up using 6 times the normal video budget all on one video. As an analogy, imagine a movie studio giving a producer $7 million to produce 7 movies, knowing that each movie should generate $1.5 million in revenue. The producer then spends $1 million making the first movie, earning $1.5 million in revenue. However, then the producer ends up spending the remaining $6 million just making the second movie. The movie does exceptionally well, garnering $2.5 million in revenue as opposed to the usual $1.5 million. However, despite doing better than the regular movie in revenue, it still incurs a net loss of $3.5 million, since the revenue simply couldn't make up for the enormous budget. Consequently, the producer's actions nearly bankrupt the movie studio. The audience now wants more movies just like that one, but the movie studio won't be making any more of those since it lost so much money. In fact, the movie studio won't be giving that producer any more deals since he spent his budget so unwisely. That analogy perfectly illustrates the situation that I had caused under the Rolling Rocks mindset, where money is analogous to my mental budget. However, it's actually been worse than that, because my initial mental budget for the remaining 6 videos wasn't actually enough to make the whole Rolling Rocks video. I had actually managed to extort even more mental budget, since I argued that without this additional budget, I wouldn't be able to finish the Rolling Rocks video, which would screw over my next semester's mindset, since then I'd have to deal with the Rolling Rocks video being unfinished for 4 more months. In this fashion, I essentially borrowed from my future mental budget, since the alternative would have led to a even greater deficit overall. In the movie analogy, this would be like the producer calling up the movie studio and saying, "Hey, I spent the remaining $6 million all on the second movie and it's still not finished yet. So if you want to see any actual revenue from it, then you'll have to give me $1 million more to finish it." And so, not only did I spend the mental budget of 6 videos all on the Rolling Rocks video, but also mental budget for my future self. In the end, I did manage to finish the Rolling Rocks video before winter break ended, but just barely. I literally finished and uploaded the video a couple of hours before I had to go back to college. So even the tentative relaxing on the last day plan had to be scrapped, since that time was needed for the video. And so it's pretty sad, honestly. Make sure I'm still recording. It's been 22 minutes. Damn. Let's continue then. Now, some might ask, why was it imperative, don't know how to pronounce that word, that you finish the Rolling Rocks video before winter break ended? Why not just work on it during your free time over the course of the semester? The answer is because in order for me to create a video of Rolling Rocks caliber, I needed complete and absolute focus on the video. To give an analogy, imagine my mind as a computer. In order to make meaningful decisions about the Rolling Rocks video, like what to talk about when, how much detail to go into, etc., I needed the entire thing to be loaded into my mental RAM at once. If I had to do this during the semester where I have to go to class, then before each class I'd have to unload Rolling Rocks memory from my RAM and load it into the class memory into my RAM. Without doing this, I wouldn't be able to learn or focus during that class. Then, once the class ended, I'd have to reverse the process by unloading the class memory from my RAM and loading into the Rolling Rocks memory. This process is known as the context switching. Anyway, the context switching like this required a lot of mental effort and can take time to do. That's why if I have a short break, I'll often just end up deciding to not make any progress on a video if there's not enough time for a decent context switch. For example, if I only have 3 contiguous hours between 2 classes, then I might not deem it worth it to try and make meaningful progress on the Rolling Rocks video during that time, since the startup and ending times and costs would outweigh the benefit of the progress made in the middle. As an analogy, imagine if there was an amusement park 2 hours away and you have 5 hours of free time. You could spend 2 hours traveling to the amusement park, 1 hour there, 2 hours coming back. However, you probably wouldn't want to do that since the 1 hour of time there doesn't justify the 4 hours of commute time. Instead, you'd prefer to wait for a weekend day where you could have 15 hours of contiguous time. And so you could spend 2 hours traveling there, 11 hours there, 2 hours coming back. Jeez, I've read a lot of the story. It really is a shitload to read. I feel really bad for this guy. I mean, man, he's written a lot. My voice isn't trained to have read for longer than 25 minutes now, because I still have to put the first one together, but this is a lot. So I've read a lot. I'm not going to read the rest because I'm so tired of reading this, because I've been reading for 30 minutes. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description of this video. I recommend, if you like this guy or have ever seen any of his content or are interested in what happened to him, that you go visit the link in the description. And this will be the frequently asked questions document from uncommented Pannen himself. Whew. I mean, holy shit. I mean, really, he's described so much. He's described his mental state when he went through all of this. He's described so many, I don't know how to explain. This is just a lot. He had college during this time, which fucking sucks. I mean, school sucks in general. Who wants to go to education and then make videos online? I mean, punishing yourself to push out videos, that's extreme. Imagine if YouTubers today punished themselves because they couldn't get progress done on a certain video. Like, punish themselves. Make them sit in a bathtub for hours. Make them think about what they've done through the course of their life and what they've done wrong, just because they couldn't get some part of a video done. Fortunately, I think this is all over. I haven't read, so I don't know if this mentality for him is completely gone. I don't know if this mentality is completely gone for him, but I hope it is. Sounds like hell, man. Look at this. Yeah. The last question was question 18, which was a lot of text. I'm not going to read the rest of this. Like I said earlier, this is a lot. If you, like I said, I'm going to leave this in the description. If you like his content at all, I recommend you see this. So it seems like he's not going to upload on his main channel anymore. pannenkoek2012. 2012. Simply because he doesn't want to enter this mindset again. Or I'd assume, because I don't actually know if this is why. The only other video I see him making on the 2012 channel is, like I said earlier, let me get out of this. The video, the ABC Trials plus task competition with $1,000 prize. In addition to that, like, to close it off, because this video should be, or the competition should be over in about 7 months. It's going to be, he said in the video, he's giving everybody 1 year to complete some trial with as few A presses as possible. And whoever completes the course that he has made in less than a certain number of A presses, they get $1,000. That's a lot of money. That's the only other video I see him making, just coming together and saying, hey, this person won. Thanks to everybody who participated, and goodbye forever. And it's just done. That's what I imagine. I don't think he'll ever finish the other ones, which sucks, because I really like this guy. Yeah, if you see that second to last video, 25 minutes of a commentated video. My voice has fallen to absolute shit. I'm so tired of commentating on his frequently asked questions. So I'm going to hurry up and finish this and stop continuing. So that way I can get on with my day. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, subscribe, like. Let me get like 3 likes on this. If you like this type of content, please comment. Let me know. If you have any ideas for content, please comment. Because I don't really have anything else to do with this channel. I literally downloaded this recorder just so I can make this video, and yeah. So that's the end. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.